Welcome back to another Joytoy Mecha Depot diorama slash playset review. In this review, we're going to be taking a look at the medical area. These are 1/18 scale dioramas if you're not familiar with them. And I believe this is number 6 that they have put out so far. They come in a very nice color, yellow and black. This is the front of the box. On the top right, we have the Joytoy logo. On the bottom, we have this is a 1/18 scale. We have a picture of what the diorama looks like and all the contents. And then on the right, we have Mecha Depot medical area. On the top, we have Mecha Depot medical area down in black and yellow. Same thing for the bottom. And the sides, there's just a cardboard box because it's just kind of a slip cover over the brown box. But on the back, we have some product images. Here's some figures not included. 1/18 scale Mecha Depot medical area here. 2 small product images with figures. Here's some pictures of for reference only, action figures and weapon accessories sold separately. Some other information for you though if you want to pause and read it. And we have some company information there. UPC, these are made in China. These do come wrapped in a plastic wrap. So I'll go ahead and pause it and remove the plastic wrap. Okay, here's the box. I'm simply going to just pull off the sleeve the best that we can here. I'll work it off. And then we gotta set it down. Open the lid. On top and bottom we have this styrofoam. Okay, the first baggie, we're going to have 3 tan walls. This baggie has a lot in it. We have the bookcases, the brackets, a railing, and the top trusses. Here is a baggie full of the monitoring stations. I guess that's what we're going to call them. We're going to take a look at all this, so don't worry. Here we have a baggie of the floor pieces and 2 larger walls. And we have some smaller baggies. There is that piece of styrofoam on the bottom. You get a table, a white table, little counter pieces, 2 chairs, and then you get the instructions. Just a little black and white fold out. This is telling you the box's contents. And then it's just the instructions you get. So, with the pictures and this basic information, should have much problem assembling your medical area. So you do get these. Now these is one thing I want to you guys to remember through this video, because as a bonus I am going to show you how to put one of these on. So basically these are water slide decals. These are not stickers. You can't peel them off. You have to put these in water. And you have to be very careful, and we'll get more into it as when we actually do one. So this basically, when we start taking a look at this video, these are going to be pre-cut. Just take scissors, cut it down between them. Be careful not to cut the decals, and then remember when you see these here soon, that's why they're in, already pre-cut them. So let's go ahead and take a look at this thing assembled. Okay, here it is, all assembled as pictured on the box. I must say this is probably the smallest set that they've released. So this is it. This is, we'll go over the pieces, and first we're going to go over this piece, which I don't even know why this is included. Kind of just an odd man out to be pictured on the box like that. Just gets in the way of your playability, in my opinion. You get 2 chairs. These are the same chairs we're used to seeing. Nothing different. Fairly highly sculpted, nicely detailed. These do not swivel. They're really nice chairs. Very, very nice. Here we have a white table. Just basically 3 pieces. You just pop the sides on and the peg holes, and it's easily assembled. So those are all the pieces that we've seen before. Now we've seen them 4 pieces before. There's a couple new pieces here, and starting with these shells. So you get 5 of these. Just the back of them looks really cool, like how they're sculpted. They're off white with like a weathering effect. Like I said, you do get 5, and as you can tell, you can connect them together, and you literally can connect them high as many as you have. In this case, we have 5, so you can make a very, very tall bookshelf if you want, or however many you want, and they all stay together pretty good. Not too bad, right? So those are one of the new pieces we get here in this set. And then this is the other new pieces we get. This is what I'm calling the monitoring stations. This is a 4-part piece. So you have to snap on the base. This is all one piece. This monitor is one piece. And this C-clamp looking thing is one piece. So that's what that looks like. So we have a red cross here on the floor. White throughout. This is the side of them. You get 3 of these. Pretty cool. Now, let's take a look here. It's kind of a unique kind of piece. It's not really, if you're really badly injured, you would literally have to be like hurt, you know, but able to stand on your own for these things. Because let's use one of our Joytoy figures here. He can stand in there nicely. So some of the cons, I'm guessing, I mean, if that was made to put around his head, that's never going to work. It's too tall. And then you can't see the monitor behind because of the figure being in the way. So I'm guessing that maybe this is like a scanner, kind of goes scans down the body and around the base and gives you a readout of the body. Pretty cool. Not too bad. Now, these things, you may notice that there isn't one there. That's because we are going to do one on this video for you guys as a bonus. The reason I'm doing this is because it's to thank you guys, and then to show you guys, kind of give you good content. And then I've seen a lot of fellow collectors, especially on social media, like trying to peel these things off, and then everybody's trying to figure out, okay, what's going on. So we'll take a little bit of time to show you how the water decals work. So I do want to put these aside for a second and show you something. So on the back here is a pig. You can peg them into here on any, there's 5 of them. So wherever you see fit. They are freestanding, of course, as you can see. But then you can peg them to the wall so they won't move. So that's an option for you. So let's take a look at the walls. We have this is a number 7 here on the back of the bigger walls. Same 4 pieces here. So these are bigger too. Now, since we have this pretty much bare boned, this is probably the problematic piece. So in the instructions, let's find the instructions. So in the instructions here they have, this is the floor. They have you using 7 of these pieces. Okay, so you're going to do 1 in between each, and then in between the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and done. Then you put your wall pieces on, right? So I'll show you what happens if you attempt to move this thing. Can you see that? There we go. So it's not, yeah, it's not very well done for the instructions. Okay, so I'm gonna try so you can see how the pieces are here. Put this thing back together real quick. As long as it's sitting on the surface. The other ones that I've done reviews for, they all you can pick them up. Had a couple of pieces I showed you a sneak preview just here on my video where you can stick those little black clips and help improve the support. So not only the floor is like just ready to fall apart, the tolerances is not very well. Then you have the walls here. There is nothing here to support these two. They just pretty much peg into the floor, and then they can wobble back and forth. And here too. There's nothing really holding this thing together very much. So they do give you a few extra pieces of these. I have now 2, 4, 6, 7 extra pieces. Now you can technically fix this one. You could either put these pieces in here like this to help. This is not in instructions. You put them on the outside, because if you put them on the inside, you really can't peg in your monitoring stations. But one here, and you're golden. Or if you don't like that idea, I can't wait for this over, but on the top of here, this thing's gonna fall apart on me. Right here, you can put them if you wanted to, but on the back side, it's kind of more hidden. That'll fix that side. So you would need an extra 2 there. On here, you're just bound. You can't do nothing with this. You need something to connect these 2 pieces. Because really, it just falls apart. And if you had a peg or something to put in there, which we don't, we have nothing. Now you can always also use, if you use 2 on here, that leaves you with a total of 5 that you can try to peg more in the bottom. That doesn't show you the instructions, which I highly recommend, especially putting 1 here in the front. Go figure out where your structural issues are, and then you have 5 to use, unless you have others from other sets. But as is, yeah, it falls apart, and that's just permanently sitting on a flat surface, and you don't move it. But so that's some fixes for that. So for me, you can peg these in here. Just put these back in here. I don't. Those are okay right there. Those are cool. I'm gonna put those 2 in there. For me, I don't like how the configuration was. To me, it takes away the playability and takes up so much real estate. So for what I'm going to do, I think in my dioramas, if this may help you guys out, I think I'm going to put the table here. And of course, we're going to need a chair. And then I'm going to put a chair here, facing the upward direction. That way, because you go to the doctors and you're filling out your registration, you can have a guy sit there, and the doctor, nurse, whatever, taking your information. And then I'm going to take 3 of these and snap them together. I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to put the other one on the desk beside it in the corner. And then you could use like a Marauders Task Force laptop if you would like, and or put some paper on there. You cut little sheets of paper, filing cabinet up in there. It looks a little better to me than having all that up front. And this thing, this rolling is just, I don't know if you even need it. You can use it for one of your other sets, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to toss this into my extra parts for whenever I build my massive display. Okay, that's it for that. So we have this. Let's get to this piece. Let's see if we can help me get this up some flashlight. So this is the blank monitor. We do have the blue, red, and black buttons, and that's throughout all the ones that are already done, as you can see here. So before we begin, you're just going to need one of these cut from the sheet that they give you. You're going to need pretty much a little container with lukewarm water. And you're going to need something to help you, either if you have long fingernails or some kind of device like this. And if you got to be careful you don't rip it. Now some precautions. So this is kind of you just do this by trial and error and you learn how to do it. Because you can soak it too long, not soak it enough. Depending on those two items I just mentioned, soaking it too long can make it brittle and fall apart, tear, rip, bubble. And then not soak it enough, also the same result. It can rip because you're trying to force it off the paper before it's ready. And then you might have to keep these wet while you're trying to place it. And then also keep your fingertips that you're using wet, so you can maneuver this without damaging it. So I'm going to go ahead and get my water and we'll get ready to show you how to put these on. Okay, so I got me a little bit of warm water here in this green little tray. And here we have this piece, and I have this next to me. So when you first put this in, make sure it's the way you want it, because you're going to slide it onto here. And don't cut it too short to where you don't have any, grabbing edges like this blue part. When you first put it in, it's going to like curl up. You don't want that to happen. You want to maintain it from rolling up and curling, because that's all bad. So you just got to get it saturated in water, control the sticker, and it should work out just fine. See that once they're starting to curl, you just got to get it down and let the water saturate the paper. And then once the water starts to saturate, it actually keeps it from curling. And there, like that. So basically keep your two fingers and maybe a thumb or so wet at all times. So basically you're going to hang out for maybe 15 seconds, and then very gently you're going to test it. And hold on to the blue. I think it's just starting to slide. It's almost ready. Because you don't want it too much. It's kind of a feel thing. It's really hard to explain. But so we have this piece, so we're going to get it out of the water. It is definitely ready to come out. Don't try to pick the sticker off the paper, because this is going to roll up, bundle, rip, and tear. So get a hold of it like so. Use your thumb. Get it like pretty much in the area you want it, and very carefully separate the decal from the blue paper. Get rid of the paper, and then you're going to want to try to get this in position. Like I said, keeping your fingers wet is the best thing to do to avoid tears. So mainly we want to do is focus on getting it in the corners. Keep it a little wet. Now as this starts to dry and your fingers are wet or not wet, it can stick to your hand. The one thing to watch about metal and sharp edges, you don't want to scrape it. You want to tear it. You need something to get in the edges. If you have fingernails, it's the best thing to do. Just kind of work it down on the edges. Make sure there's no bubbles in the middle. Rubbing it out helps gently, but not too much, because you can definitely tear it or move it out of place once you. Mostly it'll happen when you almost got it where you want it, and then You'll stick to your finger and it'll move on you in most cases if you've ever done these before. So I'm basically using their piece just to push down in the corners. I'm not poking or scratching it because it will tear. Those are very thin water decals. It's not just Joytoy, they're all made like that. And it doesn't hurt to have like maybe a dry cloth or something to start dabbing it. You can blow it, it's your breath, to try to get it to dry. So I basically just took it and used, I have a normal t-shirt on, doesn't mean nothing to me, and then put my hand around my finger and just push down around the edges and to get the water to absorb on my shirt, which is not a big deal. You want to do if it's a good shirt, but I'm not sure it's going to hurt anything. It's just water and a little bit of residue, but it looks good. It looks like it's in place, and I just recommend you to sit for 5 minutes or so, let it air dry better. And now you want to do is two pigs on the back are going to fit in these two pigs here. But when you put it on, you want to push on it. You're going to want to push on the water decal. That's why I said maybe just wait a bit before you do it. That way you don't move the sticker or tear it from the two different non-wet fingers and the wet decal. So yeah, that's all you have to do. It's pretty easy. Just have a little bit extra time and you'll be good to go. Okay, yep, and that's it. That's all you have to do. So there's issues with this one. So you can maybe utilize these to help secure the floor more, or the side wall, but the back wall is you have to be careful because underneath holding it is two pigs. So I'd be very careful. I still recommend it. They're really, really cool. It's just this one's really flimsy, so be careful. I think these things are like $35, $45, depending if you get in China or in the States. Here in the United States, as an average, you're going to pay for them. So really cool. I think it's going to add nice to your other Mecha Depot sets. So hope you guys enjoyed this review and the instructions I provided for you to help you with the water slide decals. Please like and share that information so everybody knows that they're not stickers and we don't want to be tearing their decals, and it'd be hard to get replacements. Please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in our next review.